Hey yo, check this new book written by Brooklyn Dawn.
My name is Ronnell Chewy Coombs. I have a new masterpiece called Sometimes Women and Money Don't Mix. I know a thing or two about getting money. I went from being a street gangster to a business leader, and I've been making money all the way through. A lot of brothers as they age, they reach stalemate in whatever game they're in. When you get a little older and the money seems a little far-fetched and a little harder to grab, and you start looking for a lane, looking for a way, looking for the move, and you can't figure out why the money's not coming your way. I'll tell you a little secret that you know but don't want to deal with. Sometimes women and the money don't mix, and sometimes the women and the money do. And you really don't know the difference, and you're making a whole lot of bad decisions and bad judgments when it comes to these women. I know you don't want to hear it, I know you don't want to read it, but you better, because I got something to say to help you and strengthen your game. Sometimes women and money don't mix. That's my new masterpiece. It's on Amazon.com. Read it, debate it, study it, follow it, take it to the barbershop, put the fellas on. Sometimes women and money don't mix. It's available on Amazon. Get it.
We was deep, bro. That was our corner right there. Came over there with anything. We was getting booked. I don't give a fuck who you was. You came through Southern Euclid with any type of sign on, we was getting you. That's a fact. But we used to be up at Franklin K. Lane, and we used to be up at Maxwell. I got shot up at Maxwell too, but those are two spots we used to be up at.
What you mean? You got shot at Maxwell while you was in high school?
I got shot up at the high school because that's where we used to hang out at. That was like our little hangout, like, you know what I mean? After Maxwell, we hit the junction. You know what I'm saying? But I had got shot. Yeah, nigga shot me up there one day. What happened was, you know what I mean? It was me and my man. It was just me and my man. Just so happened this day, and I seen a bunch of niggas up there. They had to be about like 5, 6 deep. It's just me and my man. So I told my man, I'm like, yo, let's just go down to the train station. Let's just get out of here because I could see these, you know what I mean? Like these niggas, you know what I mean? They trying something. You know what I'm saying? So I told my man, I'm like, yo, don't say nothing to these niggas. Just let them ride. So we went downstairs. The niggas came downstairs behind us. So my man couldn't take it no more. My man was like, yo, what the fuck is you looking at, to one of the dudes? Once he said that, the dude pulled out, and it's school getting out, so the train station is flooded. So once they said gun, everybody started running. He bust off, and I got hit in my leg. And the funny shit was, when I got shot in my leg, it was a nigga, because Maxwell and Jeff was right down the block from each other. It was a nigga up at Jeff getting hit with a shotgun, and we was in the same ambulance together.
Unbelievable.
To the fact that he died. The dude died. Like, you know what I mean?
Man.
A lot of people thought it was me because they ain't know it was two people in the ambulance. Jeff was wild. Jeff.
You talking about the time where that legendary case happened where a nigga got killed in Jeff?
Remember, it was a kid. He got shot with the shotgun in his stomach.
Yeah, I ain't know he got hit with a shotgun though.
Yeah, he got hit with a shotgun.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That shit fuck. I'm in the ambulance with him. I'm like, what the fuck?
Damn, he was alive in the ambulance though?
Yeah, he was alive in the ambulance. Yeah, he was fighting. He was definitely fighting.
That's crazy. Nigga got shot at Maxwell
crazy.
And at Jeff at the same time?
At the same time. At the same time.
That's insane, bro.
Yeah, that was crazy. You know what I mean? I was like, what? You know what I mean? Because that was what, my second time getting shot. Yeah, that was my second time getting shot.
When was it when you started noticing that your life was heading in the direction of crime?
80 something, because I caught my first case when I was 12.
Living in Cypress?
Yeah, I was living in Cypress. Yeah, I caught my first case. I had a cut-in when I was 12. I wound up getting caught for it. They gave me 18 months probation for it. I was like one of them little dudes, like my grandma was raising me. So she let me basically do whatever I want to do. So I was outside all the time. You know what I mean? Like, I was one of them little kids. I was just outside since I was a little kid. That's why I knew all the gangsters because I was always outside. I was seeing shit I was never supposed to see. You know what I'm saying? But the way I act, everybody always thought I was older than what I was. You know what I mean? So, because at first I was a football head. Me and my crew, we played football. We was into sports and shit like that. But when I got my hand on that 2.5, it was quiet. That was like late 88, 89.
That was the first hammer you got, was that 2.5?
That was the first hammer. My man, one of my best friends, my man named Artie and shit. I made him. We sold one of his rings to get his 2.5, get a 2.5. And the funny shit was, we got the 2.5, and it ain't even had no clip. So we was just running around with one in the head. You know what I mean? Shit ain't even had no clip. It was black with a brown handle. We got it from this dude from the projects too. And shit. But the funny shit was right after I got that, me and my man Art, we went to Pink Houses. I got into some shit, and that's the first time I bust a gun in Pink Houses.
You busted with just the one in the head?
There's one in the head. I bust that and I ran. We got up out of there after that. That's all we had.
What y'all was beefing about?
It was some school shit, you know, some junior high school shit. We went to 218, so a lot of us, you know, it was just that back and forth. Cause you know, it's funny cause Squeak went to junior high school with us too. You know what I mean? The Squeak from Pink Houses. You know what I mean? It was just like that Cypress through Pink Houses shit. It wasn't even about nothing. I just wanted to bust the gap. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to see how it felt. And after that, it was a wrap after that. We was running around. We was calling ourselves CRC. You know what I'm saying? Like my man Cat, my man Quan, Marley, Artie, Hamo, Psych, God rest his soul, my man Science. You know what I'm saying? We just running around doing what we was gotta do. I was more into robbery. You know what I'm saying? We was just running around doing little robberies and shit. But once Pig started fucking with us, he showed us totally different way how to get money, bro. That's when shit took off when we started running around with Pig. You know what I'm saying? Because what happened was, we always, you know, Pig and Drac was like the flyest older dudes, and you know what I mean, from my hood. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas used to come through Gucci. You know what I'm saying? These niggas was fly. We all wanted to be like them. You know what I'm saying? Every little kid in the hood wanted to be like Pig and Drac. Them niggas had, you know what I mean? They were just them dudes in the hood growing up. But 88 summer, that's when Drac got locked up for that shit. You know what I mean? That's the crime he didn't do. They locked Drac up in 88 for some shit he didn't even have nothing to do with. You know what I'm saying? And then that left Pig, you know what I mean? Pig was out there dolo. Then Pig wound up coming to the front, start fucking with us.
What did they try to say Drac did though? Like it was a body?
It was a body, yeah. Yeah, it was a body. They tried to say it's a digging pocket case, but he didn't do it. You know, he got wrongly accused for that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it was a digging pocket case. Word. You know that shit hurt the hood when Drac got knocked. You know what I'm saying? Drac got knocked the hood. We was sad. That was a hit we took. But
he went up top for that, or he eventually beat it?
Oh nah, he went up top for that. He went up top. He blew trial. Drac did like what? I think Drac did about like 32 years. Drac did
for that shit that he didn't do.
Yeah, he's still fighting. Yeah, he's still fighting. He's still trying to get it overturned. He's still in the courts with it.
Damn.
Word. That shit crazy, right? All that time for some shit he ain't even had nothing to do with.
It's starting to be a common occurrence, man. I be running into a lot of dudes on this channel that they ain't do crimes that they did heavy time for, man.
Yeah, I did. I ain't even do my crime, but we'll get into that later on. I did 14 years for something I ain't do, you know what I'm saying? But we'll get into that later on. For real.
That's crazy. But yo, so you said You said once Drac went to jail, Pig came on the other side and started fucking with y'all?
Yeah, start fucking with us. You know what I mean? And Pig already had a name. He older, you know what I mean? Pig was older than us. You know what I mean? But once he started fucking with us, we started doing everything. He showed us, we started taking some real paper. You know
how much older is son than y'all? Like, how much older was he?
Well, now he had to be, it seemed like it wasn't a lot because I was like 15. He had to be at least about 19, 20, maybe even 21. When he was like 5, 6 years older. You know what I'm saying? So he came up the front, started fucking with us. So now we fucking with him. We everywhere because he knows everybody. He used to take me with him to Notion and Gates, 89, when B.O. from Notion and Gates had the game room. You know what I'm saying? We used to be at LG. Pig used to take me to LG. Pig had us everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Pig was taking us everywhere with him. For real. That was the big homie, for real. That's the flyest nigga I ever met in my life. That's a fact. That nigga definitely showed me how to dress. That's a whole fact. He definitely showed me how to dress, Pig. And he had all the bitches. He had everything. For real, he was that guy, man.
He was still digging when he was fucking with y'all?
Yeah, we were still digging. Hell yeah.
Oh, he took y'all out to Midtown?
Yeah, he took us out to Midtown, yeah. But we was, you know what I mean? Like, we used to go here and there, but when we got with him, we was going a little frequent more because we was more into, like, doing little robberies around the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was kids, you know what I'm saying? So we was doing our little robberies, you know what I mean? Our little stick-ups at the Chinese restaurant, at the gas station. You know how the Chinese restaurant, you know how that shit go. You know what I'm saying? But with him, we started, like, running up, like, on clubs. We was running down on different shit when we got with him. You know what I'm saying? He was showing that it was the bigger picture. We used to play the light. You know what playing the light is?
What you mean, car shit?
Yeah, the car playing the light. You know when the cars come down, bumping the music, window down, there's a red light. We used to just run up on the car. They had a chain or whatever, diamond, whatever, we were snatching.
Was it any time where that shit went wrong?
One time, we out there, and the crazy thing at the time, I had a bullet in my leg. I had got shot, so I wasn't really doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? I was fucked up. I could hardly walk. But we out there, me and my team, we out there one day, and the car pull up. And when the car pull up, he got the window down, and I look, I said, oh, he got a Cuban link on. He had a big-ass chain on. I walked up on his shit. I asked him for the time. When he looked at his watch, I snatched the chain. So now, as I'm running in the project, he police. The nigga was police. And he got in his police stand, but the only reason why he didn't shoot, because there was too many people outside. It was, you know what I mean? It was a nice day. And I made it in the building. I had to go across the roof over one building, come down, and go around and go in my building. But I still got the chain. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still got it. I ain't get knocked. But it was lucky. He was like, freeze, police. But if it wasn't a lot of people out there, he probably would have tried to shoot at me.
You said he was in the whip, though?
Yeah, he was in the whip. He stopped at the red light, and I walked right up on him. I'm like, yo, you got the time? Once he looked at his watch, I snatched the chain. I booked it in the PJ.
He was black?
Yeah, he was black, yep. He was a black dude, yep. He was light-skinned, yep. He worked for the 75th precinct. Word, I got away with that shit. Pig took me Pig used to always, any type of jewelry. That's why I said when we start fucking with him, shit was different, because he was taking us to 47th Street to the Diamond District to pawn all our jewelry, whatever we was taking. You know what I'm saying? Before, we was just taking it to a regular, you know what I mean? Pig started taking us uptown to 47th Street, the Diamonds District. So we used to take all that shit up there. You know what I'm saying? So, for real, he was that guy, bro. I wish you could have met him, man. That nigga, he put me and my mans onto a lot of shit. That when he got killed, that shit, it fucked the hood up, man. It fucked me up. Me and my team, we still fucked up on that shit.
What year was that?
Kid died in 91. And he was official. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was just one of them guys. He knew how to fight. You know what I'm saying? His hand was crazy. Nigga had all the chicks. For real, he fucked with everybody, you know what I mean? He fucked with the whole Brooklyn, man. For real. He had me everywhere. I met so many people fucking with him, man, from outside the project. It's crazy.
Why they call son Pig?
I don't even know why they call him that, but his real name is Arthur Lucky. Yeah, his real name is Arthur Lucky. For real, Arthur fucking Lucky, boy. That's a fact. That shit was fucking me up for a minute, but yeah, he definitely showed me some different shit, man. Crazy, because he wasn't even from the front, he's from the back.
So you said at that time the back and the front, they wasn't rocking with each other?
The back and the front, it was always beef with the back and the front. But it was, you know what I mean? When the back and front was beefing, that was more over turf, you know what I mean? Over getting money. You know what I'm saying? It was a different type of beef. But remember, because back then niggas was more getting money back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause you know Jesus from my hood too. May he rest in peace. He from my side too. So them niggas, that was a whole different type of beef. You know what I'm saying? Cause you know we always, me growing up, like we always was cool with the back. So you know we all grew up together. We all went to school together. You know what I'm saying? So that shit really ain't have nothing to do with me and my crew. We really ain't had nothing to do with that shit. It was more like it was like fountain side against the, you know what I mean, against the back at that time. That's when the team was beefing. The 18 was beefing with the back. That's who was beefing from back to 18.
That was before or after crack hit?
That was when crack hit.
So niggas was cool. The front and the back was kind of cool until crack came out?
Yeah, until that crack. Yeah, that crack shit separated. The back and front always been cool. But that crack era, yeah. That shit, you know what I mean? It made people from the piece stay on their side. You know what I mean? You from the front, you from the front, you from the back, you from the back. You know what I'm saying? It separated the piece.
It got to a point where dudes couldn't even be on the other side that they wasn't from, or certain niggas could.
That's a fact. You couldn't even walk. Nope. Wasn't nobody going from the front coming to the back, and wasn't nobody from the back coming to the front unless y'all was shooting. Unless it was a shootout. And that shit lasted for that. It's still going on. You know what I mean? It's still a thing. And that shit is real fucked up.
So who was the main niggas in the projects at that time when you was out there young? Who was the main older niggas in the projects that was like?
Yeah, Jesus, the team, you know what I mean? The team, Bees and them from the back. You had, you know, Glaze and all them from my side. My man K-Dub hitting all them. Dude, my man Hollywood, rest in peace. It was a lot of them, and the funny thing, my uncle used to be in the street. That's why I knew all the older niggas. You know what I mean? Like, cause my uncle used to do stick-ups and like shit like that back in the days. So I knew all the, you know what I mean? I knew all the older, the gangsters. I knew all of them. They all fucking. I was like, they knew I was gonna be a wild child. I was wild, bro. I used to fight every, you know what I mean? I was like one of them kids. I was wild, bro. I was hard-headed. I ain't listening.
When y'all went to school with pink houses too?
Yeah. Or because most of the pink houses, yeah, went to junior high school.
So y'all was all cool in school. Y'all was cool with pink houses, dudes?
Yeah. We was cool with pink houses until like when they got older, you know what I'm saying? Niggas that's when really shit started hitting the fan. But other than that, we was always cool with brothers. I was always, you know what I mean? Those was my guy. I used to always go to pink houses, fuck with, you know, Tuquan, Buki, you know what I'm saying? I used to fuck with everybody. I used to fuck with K-Man side a lot. Shit, me and my team, we fucked with K-Man side, with Tuquan and Rand and all them. And shit, but we had got into a little shit with these guys from pink houses because they had killed my man brother and shit right on the corner across the street from the project. And the funny shit was I just had crossed the street. I was on that same corner. I crossed the street, and when I crossed the street, a car came by and shot the corner up. And my man brother got killed and my man got shot. And that's when we had a little bit of thing going on with some guys from pink houses. That was, you know what I mean? It was on between us and them at that time. That we was definitely spending through pink houses a lot. Definitely. That was my man brother. Like, my man turned into a monster after that.
That was his older brother that got killed?
Yeah, it was his older brother, my man Quan.
Before that, son was just a regular dude, or he was in the streets since he was already in the streets and stuff?
Who, the one that got killed?
No, the one, his brother. You said son turned to a monster.
Quan was in the, he was in the street. He was in the street, but like we was just doing little robberies, but you know what I mean? Doing little stick-ups and shit, you know what I mean? But after that, he turned into a beast. Turned into a whole different person. Well, that shit lasted for a little minute too. It was crazy because I remember one time it was me, Pig. There was a lot of us. We were standing on the corner. I just had got shot. I had got shot the night before. I had got shot in my arm and shit. So we all standing on the corner because that's what back then. That's what niggas used to call a payphone. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, all niggas from up north, everybody used to call a payphone and shit like that. So one day we out there, me and Pig, and that's when TNT just started. TNT ran down on the corner thinking me and Pig had drugs or whatever, so they wilding on me. I'm telling them I just got shot. They didn't give a fuck. Then my man Artie had called the phone, like the pay phone, and one of the TNT niggas picked up the phone and was like, bring all the drugs and guns, they got us. So my man Artie was like, man, fuck you, I hung the phone up. But me and Pig got locked up for that shit too. For real. We used to def Southern Euclid. That used to be the spot. That's where everything used to go down there, bro. Southern Euclid. That was our corner right there, Southern Euclid. That was me, Cat, Quan, Science, Sight, Head, Raj, Pledge, Molly. We was deep, bro. That was our corner right there. Came over there with anything, we was getting booked. I don't give a fuck who you was. You came through Southern Euclid with any type of sign on, we was getting you. That's a fact. We had that shit in an uproar. You got the Chinese restaurant on the corner and shit, right?
What you talking about, right there on Euclid?
Yeah, right there, Southern Euclid, the Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
It was May's. So we used to be out there. That's where we used to hang out at. So every time the Chinese dude used to come to dump the garbage, we'd wow on them. We'd punch him in the chest. We'd do some wild shit to them, right? So he got so tired of that shit. They gave us 5 free meals a day. No matter whoever got to them meals first, they gave us 5 free meals or whatever we want out the Chinese restaurant every day. Niggas used to be sliding up there with their little chicks, not paying. Chicks like, nah, chill, don't even worry. Fucking May's, yo. That was our spot right there. We was getting 5 free bills a day, yo.
How long that shit lasted?
That shit lasted for a minute. That shit lasted for a couple of years. For real. They made the funny shit that the dude, the main man that owned it, he still lived there. He's still living at the same spot right there. That's crazy. Well, mad shit done happened on that corner. Mad niggas died. A couple of niggas died over there. You know what I mean? That corner always been a hot corner.
The whole East New York is hot, my nigga.
The whole East New York is hot.
The whole East New York is fucking hot. What high school y'all niggas went to, Jeff?
No, I went to King.
Oh, you went to King? I went to Graphics. I used to come up to King, though.
Yeah, I went to King. That's when I went to King. It used to be me and Brown from Brownsville, from the Plaza. Me and Brown. A bunch of us went there. Brazil, Steve. There was a bunch of us went there back. I went to King. But once I dropped out of King, I started hanging up at Franklin K. Lane. That's where I used to be at a lot. I used to be up at Franklin K. Lane, and I used to be up at Maxwell.
I know dudes was getting robbed. I don't know if they was doing that when you was there, but I know they used to make King go through like that parking lot shit to get to the train station. Like it was like some underpass shit you had to walk through when you came from King to get to the train.
Yeah, man. You know who used to, when I was going there, you know who was the Decepticons. That's when the Decepts was wilding on everything. They was wilding on everything. That's when I was going to King then.
These prices are subject to change as the channel grows. I'm dropping 25 episodes per month. If you want a 10 episode lock-in where your promo is on 10 episodes that I drop, $3,000. If you want your promo on 5 episodes, $1,500. If you want to lock the whole 25 block down for the month, get at me. I give you a deal you could never refuse. Z-Man Suicide Polo with the Ski Man. Sponsors, get at me.
Hey, yo, LAZ, man. I mean, shout out to the whole Coney Island. Shout out to the whole Connecticut, New London. You heard? The whole LG, the whole Marcy, the whole Brooklyn. You feel me? And shout out to the bro L Train. Know what I mean? We putting together this little series. It's fire. You feel me? I told y'all I ain't got enough Coney Island material. So if you from Coney Island and you got that fire, holla at me. Slim Blunt Gang, Comment Gang, Gen Pop fam, I need y'all to tear this up on the comments. I need about 200 comments in the first hour, you heard? And that's a fact. Get at me. If you need that promo, hit my email, you heard? Z-Lord.
A nigga from Rhode Island came through, and one night we all was chilling and all that stuff. And he said, "Yo, you know, my cousin is Desiree Washington, the one Mike Tyson raped." Niggas looked at him. We all looked at each other, and when the lights went out, niggas did him dirty. I mean, niggas put feet on him, hands on him, a little bit more feet. You know, I'm from Coney Island and shit, you know what I'm saying? And, like, I didn't have the average life as everybody else. I grew up in a 2-family house, you know what I'm saying, 2-parent house and all that. My father was in the army, so I basically grew up a military brat, you know what I'm saying? And then when I seen my father with a crack pipe in his hand, my heart was crushed and broke. And I was about maybe 10, 11 at this time, and I had to go back to New York and all that stuff, whatever. And about 12 years old, this is my cousin Corey, the one that you spoke to already. It was an old, rusty, beat up 38 with electrical tape around the handle. I was about 12 years old when he first gave it to me. You know what I'm saying? And like, I used to be everywhere with this kid and I used to be everywhere with him and all that stuff, right? But okay. So I really didn't get into nothing at all, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I was growing, it was boot camp for me, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And by the time I turned like 15, whatever, like I was like one of the first, I wasn't one of the first, I was one of the little dudes that was getting a little bit of change on the block because I was a worker. I was getting like 25 off every 100 and all that stuff, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm getting a little bit of change, whatever. But I'm sneaking. I'm not out there just doing it. I'm sneaking because my grandmoms live in one building, my mom's and everything else, so I got family and all that stuff. So I'm sneaking, doing my little 1-2s and shit, right?
And what year is this, you said?
This is about 89. This is about 89. You know what I'm saying? 89. Because we had a little 2020, the radio, and you know what I'm saying, we used to play nice and smooth and all that shit, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, the niggas used to go buy tapes and all that stuff, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's about 89, whatever, right? And then I turned 15. I turned 15. On my 16th birthday, I got locked up, right? As soon as I turned 16, I got locked up. I told my mother we was going to Nathan. She said, bring back some frog legs. We find ourselves in Flatbush, at my man crib and all that. You know what I'm saying? Our birthday on the same day. And on the way back from Flatbush, they got into a car chase. So we had stolen cars, whatever. They got into a car chase. They crashed, whatever. And we in the third lane. So the dude that's driving, he became my Cody, whatever. He was like, yo, let's slow down and pick them up. Bam, we got smacked from behind, whatever. We run across the highway, some good Samaritan nigga jump out. They stop for the police, whatever. And that's my first time getting locked up, going through the system, whatever, at the age of 16 and shit, right? So things is going on and all that stuff. And then the shenanigans started. One day we was in a chicken spot in Coney Island. We was in a chicken spot, right? It was me, it was me and family and all that stuff, right? God bless Jamel, right? Everybody else call him Ja. He from Lexington and Gates. Everybody know him as Ja. Family call him Mel. You know what I'm saying? So we all in the chicken spot, whatever. And dude walk in. I know dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all from the same. Me and him from the same block, 23rd, Coney Island. You know what I'm saying? And 23rd, like that. You know what I'm saying? 23rd was the block to be on in Coney Island. You know what I'm saying? You had people. People was getting paper out there. On that block, you had Moloch, God bless the dead. He had building 1. Building 2, you had Love, you had Bro, you had Ice, you had 6. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was getting some paper. You know what I'm saying? These dudes had motorcycles and bikes and dirt bikes lined up outside. Moloch and them was getting so much bread that, he used to buy his workers' cars and shit like that, right? But anyway, right, we're in a chicken spot. Dude walk in. Let's call this guy. I'm gonna call him Dude, right? He walk in, right? We all, in the chicken spot, whatever. He walk in. What's up? You know me from somewhere? And I'm like, yo, chill, man. This is my family. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm telling my family, yo, chill, because I live here. You know what I'm saying? So, Ja, which is Mel, he walks out the store. Hey, yo, blacking him run across the street. You know what I'm saying? Niggas, everybody's starting to get it on, whatever. And I'm trying to break it up. Like, yo, nah, chill. Yo, and I'm telling other dude, yo, chill, this is my family, whatever. Right? So, boom, he got up out of there. He jumped on the car, and they was driving off. He was on the hood of the car, and he started snatching his chain. Like, yo, you try to take this from me? So, me and my people, you know what I'm saying, we go back to the other block, and then, you know what I'm saying, they bounce across town. They're like, yo, La, come on. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, I'm gonna chill, whatever. I gotta go back to the block and see what's going on. So about an hour later, I walk back to the block, and this is like 91. This is like 91, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I walk back to the block, and I'm walking through the front of the building, and they was like, yo, dude, and I'm looking for you. They said they're gonna do this and kill you. They're gonna do this, that, and the third to you. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So boom, I go in the building, I'm pressing the elevator. Next thing you know, the door was locked. Somebody they trying to get in the door. I had a chance to run up the stairs. Whatever I looked, I went and opened the door. As soon as I opened the door, one dude came through first, and the next thing you know, I see a big ass 44 Bulldog in my motherfucking face. And I'm like, yo, drop the gun, fight me. And he like, yo, fuck all that. Yo, you better talk to your cousin before I kill this nigga in the lobby. This, that, and the third. I'm like, yo, drop the gun and fight me. Next thing you know, I see all kind of stars, pink clovers, yellow moons, and hearts. The nigga slapped the shit out of me with that 44. Slapped the hell out of me, right? And you know what I'm saying? And this guy named Dada, Puerto Rican dude Dada, came and seen the shit. He stepped in between all that. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck going on? This, that, and the third. Then he telling niggas, yo, he from the building. Y'all let this shit happen? Y'all let this shit happen to him, so forth and so on. And I love Dot Dot to this day. Every time I go back to Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying, I make it my business to see him. You know what I'm saying? But he's like, yo, he from the building. Y'all let this happen? I go upstairs, whatever, boom. You know, my mom see me, what happened, so forth and so on. Boom, I throw a Band-Aid on it, go to sleep, wake up the next day, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But at this time, my grandmoms lived in Tompkins. So I was back and forth from Coney Island to Tompkins, Coney Island to Tompkins, Coney Island to Tompkins and shit like that. So now, boom, you know what I'm saying? All that, you know what I'm saying? All that got, you know what I'm saying, pushed over, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude came, we spoke, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, niggas trying to rob me, whatever. Yeah, no, niggas ain't trying to rob you. You came in there fronting. And these dudes don't play that. You know what I'm saying? They get on it, they get busy. They get busy with razors and everything, right? So now, you know, I'm back and forth from Coney Island to Tompkins. Now I'm, you know what I'm saying, Tompkins, you know, God bless Jameek, DU and all that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm getting a little bit of change in Tompkins. We selling trays. I was around when NAGT, Notion Ave Green Tops, and Marcy, when they started, Turtle and all of them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I was there, Turtle and all of them. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, Slot Brother Paulo used to come down to the building 65, fuck with us and all that. You know what I'm saying? PD, Madcalf, God bless Madcalf. His nephew used to come down to the building and fuck with us and all that. H Money Bags and Jeter and all of them, you know what I'm saying? And this is how I got cool with Marcy dudes through Jameek. You know what I'm saying? Because my cousin Corey, you know, him and VI used to be together, but Corey really never had no time for me because he was really in this, he was getting money and all that stuff. And all my older cousins really never had no time for me because they was getting money and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? When Corey got into that situation in Marcy and he came to Coney Island, you know what I'm saying? That's when he had time for me. This is when, you know, and it goes back. I was young then. You know what I'm saying? He gave me that 38 and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's like, you know what I'm saying, well, you know, that happened, whatever. But as I'm going back and forth through Tompkins and Marcy and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying, and then the Sumner Mutts at that time, you know, my brother's related to the Mutts, whatever, you know what I'm saying, but, you know, you had the Sumner Mutts and Sumner, and then you got Tompkins and you got Marcy and all that stuff, whatever, you know what I'm saying, and, like, it was a dude named Froggy, God bless him, you know what I'm saying, like, he used to, you know what I'm saying, he try to be a big bully and all that stuff, whatever, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, my man Tone used to be like, yo, every time somebody came from Marcy, he'd be like, yo, you know, this is CeeLo brother, this CeeLo cousin, and Fair Play cousin. And you're like, what? You Fair Play little cousin? Okay, you good when you come through Marcy. I gotta get off at that G train at Murder on Willoughby anyway to get to my grandmother's house. So it's like I can't be no sucker at all. I can't be no punk, and you know, I'm not getting off and taking no bus, no nothing, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, now my little shenanigans is starting and all that stuff. We used to take Hitman had brought a Bronco. We used to take Hitman Bronco, you know, ride around, drive through Marcy and all that stuff. We ain't go far. You know, we go through Marcy, go through Sumner, come back through Tompkins, whatever. Nobody had no license. And Tone went and let me drive because that was his brother's car, and I was a car thief at this time too. You know, I used to steal cars and all that stuff, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But okay, fast forward a little bit. You know, like from Tompkins and Marcy, I was getting a little bit of change. The trays out there, I should take back to Coney Island with me. I had a spot next door to my crib, so when the spot was out, I just looked through the people. When the spot was out, yo, what y'all need? My mom's in the back sleep. She don't know. Boom, I'm busting. You know what I'm saying? So I take my little percentage off the trays, and then the extra money is going in my pocket anyway. And I take the money back to Tompkins. And then I started getting a little bit of money with Vic and Marcy. You know what I'm saying? They had the living room and all that. You know what I'm saying? They was in the living room and all that. But, you know, I started getting a little bit of change with Vic and Marcy, whatever. That didn't last too long, about 2 months, whatever, because he kept jerking me and things like that. So, boom, I wind up back in Coney Island again. And at this time, I'm in Marlboro, you know, with my cousin. And I'm seeing a little bit of paper in Marlboro, whatever, a little bit of paper. There's not no change this time. There's a little bit of paper. You know, I'm able to go buy me a pair of sneakers every day, buy me an outfit every day, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And one night I decided to steal a car. I didn't want to take the train or get a cab. I decided to steal a car and go home. And they're like, yo, let us have the car. And I'm like, yeah, I gotta have the car. And our man Crip was like, yo, I'm gonna take him home and I'm gonna bring him back. I'm bring back the car. And they're like, all right. I forgot this nigga got a fake leg and shit like that, right? So boom, as soon as he get in the car and he throw it and drive, I'm like, yo, Crip, we gonna crash. He's like, nah, I got it. His fucking fake leg fell off and hit the gas and accelerated us. And I'm like, Crip, we about to crash. We hit the train. You know the poles, the train, like when the train is upstairs, them fucking poles. We hit that, right? We spin off and hit Seatown Wall. I kick my way out the car and I'm crying, like, come get Crip. You know what I'm saying? They run down, Tank and all them dudes run down, they get Crip out the car. They're like, yo, take him in the project, take him in the building. And I'm crying, like, because I think that, I done killed my man, whatever. Well, you know what I'm saying? But he wound up, living and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? But this is when my mother was like, yo, you going back to Connecticut with your father. And I'm like, Ma, don't send me back to Connecticut. My father smoked crack. My mother like, your father don't smoke crack. My grandma like, your father don't smoke crack. I'm like, yes, he do. I seen him. Okay. They sent me back to Connecticut. July 11th, my uncles came and got me from the crib. So I had to pack my stuff real fast. I left and I went to Connecticut. I left with 3 pair of sneakers, 4 outfits, $500 worth of crack, and a 9. I get to Connecticut. You know, my father happy to see me and all that stuff. He was working at EB, General Dynamics. They used to build nuclear submarines and all that stuff. So one day, me and my cousin sitting on the porch, his friend pulls up and was like, yo, you seen them boys from down the street? I'm like, nah, I don't know them niggas. I ain't seen them. And my cousin was like, show him what you got. He's like, you got something? I said, yeah. So I showed him. He said, let me get 6 for 100. I said, 6 for 100? Shit. These is nickels. I gave him 6. He gave me 100. And my life changed right then and there. Everything changed right then and there. And me being in Connecticut, there was a chick that was from Coney Island in Connecticut, right? And I'm looking at her, I'm like, yo, I know you from somewhere. And she like, oh, this isn't my mother. No. That's not your mother. I know them. I have ties to this community. Like, I've been going back and forth to Connecticut since like 87. You know what I'm saying? Because my family lived there. I've been going back since 87, back and forth since 87. So when I meet, you know what I'm saying, I see her, and then me and her talk, and she's like, oh yeah, you are from 2-3rd, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I'm from 3rd, you know what I'm saying, you know what the word is, whatever, you know what I'm saying. So I went to her crib the next day. This is when I meet Pudgy, and Fight. Pudgy and Fight is the same person. Pudgy, Bar, and there was a couple other LG niggas in there, whatever, you know. And you know, they like, oh, shorty, what you doing up here? I'm like, I'm doing the same thing y'all doing. I'm trying to get me some money. My father's smoking crack, so he's not really caring about what I do, so forth and so on. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Pudgy and them there, like, it's Pudgy, Fife, Pudgy, Bar, and a couple other dudes. You know what I'm saying? These other dudes I don't know yet. You know what I'm saying? I believe Fucon was there, so forth and so on. You know what I'm saying? But I only lasted on the street 120 days because I went to Connecticut July 11th. I got locked up December 11th for a shooting and shit. And the only reason why I got locked up for that shooting, and the only reason why I bust my gun, is because the nigga shot at us first. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas was beating these niggas up, and the nigga pulled out a gun and shot at the floor. Bah! You could have been dead. Bah! You could have been dead. Oh, no. We not playing that there. So one day after school,
you talking about a Connecticut dude?
Yeah, no, actually he was a New York dude. He was a Brooklyn dude, right? That was in Connecticut, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of dudes from Brooklyn that went up to Connecticut. Who the shit that they you couldn't do this shit back home, you couldn't do this shit back in the projects, so you come up here and now, you know, these niggas don't know you, so, you know what I'm saying, like, now you, like, you know what I'm saying, like they look at you as you God, because they, you know what I'm saying, they don't know you can't do it. You know good and damn well you up here on your bad behavior, you can't be in the projects doing this shit, you can't even be around your way doing this shit. Well, anyway, right, so boom, one day after school, you know, I didn't go to school, so my father told me, yo, you could go to school whenever you want to go to school. And I'm like, all right, when I'm ready to go to school, I'll let you know. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I'm just running around all day, you know, getting a little bit of change and shit like that, whatever. But after school, we see these niggas. They trying to ride through where we was hustling at. We called it Boulder Hill. They called it Gun Hill, but Boulder Drive. They called it Gun Hill, though. You know what I'm saying? And I ran through the projects, and I took the car head on. Baka, 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 baka. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, you know what I'm saying, like, everything done changed. And I'm like, the only reason why I busted my gun because this nigga shot first. Out of all the guns I ever had in my life, I never had to shoot them at nobody. I used to bust in the air and all that shit, just wasting bullets. You know what I'm saying? Maybe NASA like, yo, stop shooting at our satellites, whatever. You know, I never had to bust my gun at nobody. That's my first time I really had to bust my gun at somebody, right? So boom. Okay, I get locked up and all that stuff, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I go to this joint called Montville. And, you know, I'm sitting in the ballpen and all that stuff. And I had an uncle that was already locked up in Montville because he used to come home on furloughs. You know, in Connecticut, they let you come home on the weekends and shit once you do a certain amount of time and things like that. And then Connecticut had like the 10% law, the 5% law, the 25% law, meaning if it was under the 10% law, they gave you 10 years, you do 10% of that, and you could go to the parole board. You know what I'm saying? And so like the 5% and the 25%, whatever. But my uncle, you know what I'm saying, he was already locked up. So, you know, I'm sitting in the ballpen and I'm hearing stories about me that, like, I don't even know these niggas. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? I don't know none of it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm hearing stories about me, yo, me and L Train. You know what I'm saying? Because, and Coney Island, I'm La. Everybody know me as La. Like I'm La. Like, you know, that's Donna's son from the 10th floor, Miss Gloria grandson. You know what I'm saying? I'm La. Like, I don't do none of this crazy shit in Coney Island at all. You know what I'm saying? I never had to shoot a gun in Coney Island and nothing like that. I just get a little bit of change in Coney Island. And a little bit of change that I was getting, we'll go down to the arcade at night, go to Kansas Fried Chicken, go make videos and all that stuff, whatever, take pictures. Or, you know what I'm saying? That's the only thing we did with the money. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't stacking or anything like that. You know, it was getting a little bit of change. You know what I'm saying? And I'm only getting a little bit of change because, you know, my friends is getting a little bit of change. But it was some dudes that was getting money. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I was getting a little bit of change. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? So now, back to Montville, I'm sitting in the ballpen, and my Uncle TC come in. And he's like, yo, L Train. I was like, yo, Unc, what up? And he's like, yo, I was like, yo, Unc, I just need a couple cigarettes and all that stuff. This dude that me and him still cool to this day, his name is Noel. He used to be a Latin king. He looked at me, he said, you can't be L Train, you're not L Train. I said, yes, I am. He said, nah, the way niggas is scared of you, he said, I thought you was about 6'4", maybe 280 pounds full of muscle, the way you got these niggas scared of you. I'm a little frail dude. I'm frail. I'm short. I'm 5'6", little frail guy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm so frail. Whereas that, if I'm fighting somebody and you grab me, and I'm getting manhandled, and I might have to bite you or some shit like that. Get off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get manhandled and all that stuff, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So niggas like, yo, and then the niggas that was telling stories about me trying to rob them and all that stuff, so forth and so on. Now they stunned like, oh shit, that's L Train. Yeah, it's L Train. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So now, boom, I you know what I'm saying? They send me to D-Dorm first. I get into a fight in D-Dorm. This nigga tell me, I go to D-Dorm, and he's like, you ain't no guns in jail. You don't know I know how to fight though. You know what I'm saying? Think my. You don't know I know how to fight, nigga. I use these before I use a gun. You know what I'm saying? Then after that, they move me to C-Dorm. I get to C-Dorm. I wake up the next morning. They say, yo, shorty, where you from? I'm from Brooklyn. Oh, he from New York. He from New York. He from New York. He from New York. My man Scar. Shaba. And then next thing you know, I skipped the part where the Jamaican niggas from Flatbush, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, they come through. And then next thing you know, Tiz from Fort Greene come through. Sleepy from LG come through. Fife and Bar come through. Malik from Red Hook come through. Cuckoo B from Red Hook come through. Major Payne from Red Hook come through. Tank and Charlie Brown from Kosciuszko come through. My man Nose from Kosciuszko come through. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, it's crazy because mostly every New York dude that was in there, we were on there on gun charges and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And then Yellow Man from Flatbush come through. And Blue from Uptown, one of Mikey Mans come through. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, C-Dawn became the City Dawn, whatever. This a nigga from Rhode Island came through. And one night we all was chilling and all that stuff. He said, yo, you know, my cousin is Desiree Washington, the one Mike Tyson raped. Niggas looked at him. We all looked at each other. And when them lights went out, niggas did him dirty. I mean, niggas put feet on him, hands on him, a little bit more feet, gave him a few I told you so's, gave him some act right and everything else. You know what I'm saying? And then some niggas from Boston came through that we all got cool with. OG Frank from California came through, from LA came through, and all that stuff, right? But the real shenanigans didn't start until we hit the streets and all that. Until we all did our time.
Right quick. So niggas just put hands on that dude just because he was Desiree Washington cousin?
Yeah.
And they got him up out the dorm?
Nah, we kept him in the dorm so we could put feet on him more. You know what I'm saying? We love Mike. You know what I'm saying? And Mike and Chinaman, is married to a good friend of mine. My nephew's aunt that Chinaman is married to. Whatever, and him and Tyson is best friends, you know what I'm saying? And we from Brooklyn, you know, we love Mike, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, but yeah, we put hands on that boy, you know what I'm saying? And then Cuckoo B from Red Hook, like the nigga could be sleeping and Cuckoo B should do drive-by slappings. Cuckoo B just walk by and slap him. And you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? And then at this time, right, I got sentenced, right? And I was facing 45, but I wound up doing 3 years because, you know, I didn't know the law or nothing at that time, you know what I'm saying? And being locked up, you know, like certain dudes, you know, they make you read law books and all that stuff. You know, that's mandatory that you go to school and all that stuff, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, okay, I wound up copping out 3 years, right? But I had an escape on my record. I had escape on my record from the county jail and shit, right? So they sent me to a joint Walker, right? And Keith Murray didn't come through at this time. Keith Murray didn't come through at this time, right? I'm at Walker, right? And from Walker, they sent me to Summers Prison. I'm in the prison. You know what I'm saying? I go to H Block first. They put me in the cell. So, you know what I'm saying? The cell, they put me in. The white boy said, yo, you know he can't be in my cell. And the CO like, yo, listen, he just here for the night. We'll switch y'all in the morning. Dude came to my cell like, yo, who you down with, yo? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, 20 Love. Because all us Brooklyn niggas started fucking with 20 Love because we hung out with these niggas so much, whatever. So we started fucking with 20 Love, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So he said, yo, all right, I'll be back. I'm a thug too. So boom, he came back, brought me a couple cigarettes and a fucking box. He slid it through the door. I opened the box, there's a big ass shank in there. And he like, yo, that white boy got 80 years. Watch him. I'm like, 80 years? He said, yeah, that white boy got 80 years, watch him. So I'm like, all right. So I shot the white boy a 30 to life story. Shot him a 30 to life story. He's an Aryan Brotherhood. Okay, for one, he don't like black people anyway. And now I'm in the cell with this nigga, right? So I shot him a 30 to life story. You know what I'm saying? Told him, yeah, I got bodies in New York and all this other, you know what I'm saying? Which I didn't, but this nigga got 80 years. You know what I'm saying? So I shot him a 30 to life story, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So boom, they switched us, whatever. And then I run into Malik from Red Hook. Malik like, yo, what you doing up here? Yo, call your people, you ain't supposed to be here. And then June from the Bronx see me. He like, yo, L Train, yo, you're not supposed to be here, man. Yo, call your people, man. Something happened to you up here, this, that, and third.
What they meant, because you was with the white boy, you mean?
No, I was in a prison. And in Connecticut, you're an adolescent until you're 21. Like, I don't care if you're 19. If you go to court by yourself, they're not going to see you. Your parents have to be there. Like New York, you can go to court at the age of 16 by yourself. In Connecticut, no, you can't go to court by yourself at 16, 17, 18, 19. No, you're still a minor until you're 21 in the state of Connecticut, right? So boom, I run into Malik, I run into June, right? So fucking with Malik, I fuck around and go to SEG. Cause Malik like, yo, fuck these niggas, this, that, and the third, blase, blah. And I'm like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I know I got a New York nigga up here with me, right? So now I go to SEG. I meet another New York nigga. His name is Big Ness. He got Flatbush tattooed on his back. So I'm like, oh, you Big Ness. Like, oh, yo, I heard about you, yo, it's this and the third. And he's like, yo, shorty, I've been locked up 25 years already. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And he said, yo, I don't know nothing about New York right now. You know what I'm saying? He said, yo, tell me what's going on in New York, whatever. So me and him talking and all that stuff, whatever. And I'm in SEG at this time. So in SEG, they let you out for rec and all that stuff. And I was in F block. Going out the rec, I had to pass the electric chair, right? As I'm going out the rec, I seen that electric chair. I turned around, went back to my cell, and I started crying, man. I want to go home. I want to go home. Like,
what you mean? There's an electric chair that they use, or some old abandoned shit?
No, well, it was abandoned, but it was a dude named Michael Ross that, like we used to be out on the tier, like Death Row, like you could see Death Row, right? And we used to talk to Death Row. And I sat in my mother's crib in Coney Island and watched an NBC special when he got executed. You know what I'm saying? He was the last person, I think, to get executed in the state of Connecticut. You know what I'm saying? And this is after I came home. But while I'm there, though, you know what I'm saying? I seen that electric chair, man. Like, yo, listen, I want to go home now. Like, I have no business here. You know, I'm glad that nobody got hit in that shooting or anything like that. Whatever. And like, I want to go home now. Like, I'm crying. Like, yo, listen, I never seen this shit before at all. And then, you know, after I got out of SEG and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm in prison, so you know, it's the thing being a man and all that shit, whatever, right? They put me in a new block, so I'm walking down the tier, nigga bumped me. I turn around like, yo, my man, like you can't say excuse me or something. He looked at me and said, excuse me, what you say? I said, nigga, you heard me, motherfucker, right? So I'm beefing, like loudmouth beefing and all that. He go to his cell and come back, throw some paperwork in my cell. I'm reading this shit. Oh, wow, this nigga got 280 years. Let me get my mind right. Let me get my mind right. Yo, I'm sorry. I apologize, my man. Yo, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? And he told me, like, yo, listen, you got a chance to live. You know what I'm saying? He said, I'm going to let you live. And I said, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This motherfucker had 280 years, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, thank you. And then was crazy, like all the people that I came across, and you know what I'm saying, being in Summers, wow, the numbers I couldn't imagine having them numbers.
You said that's a state facility in Connecticut?
Yes, it's not a level 4 no more. I think they turned it to a level 3 now, or something like that. But at this time, it was a level 5 because I had escape on my record. So yeah, I was a level 5, so that's why I was there. And then when my level went down, they sent me to Manson Youth Institution, where I was supposed to be in the beginning. They sent me to Manson Youth Institution and shit. And when I got there, some of the numbers I couldn't believe that these guys got. And this is like 90, 94, not like 95, because I came home in 95. So this is like 95 and all that stuff. And I remember one dude saying, yo, my discharge date ain't to 2022. And I'm looking at him, 2022. I couldn't see that far back then. 2022, like I didn't like I can't see that far at all. You know, like these niggas got numbers. So okay, let me get my mind right, whatever. You know, I'm doing my little thing on the compound, whatever. I start working in commissary, where you can't smoke in NYI. So we used to steal mad cigarettes because you could smoke in Big Cheshire. That's Little Cheshire is NYI. Big Cheshire, that's what Keith Murray was at that time, right? So we stealing cigarettes and all that stuff, whatever. And then a riot breaks out on the compound. I'm in J Cottage, and I'm the only 20 Love nigga there. Everybody else is Brotherhood, Pump Nation, Latin King, and Elm City. Elm City is from New Haven, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I remember, one of the bros, I was listening to the channel one time, and he was talking about how he got locked up in Bridgeport and with the Brotherhood stuff, and you know what I'm saying? He ran into that Brotherhood stuff and all that stuff, right? So now I'm the only 20 Love nigga there, right? So niggas, they pop our doors and all that, and my celly, he was Pump Nation, and he's from Bridgeport. He came out the cell like, ain't nobody touching my celly. Ain't nobody touching my celly. Y'all know how my family give it up. And his family big on the streets in Bridgeport, Petway tribe. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, yo, ain't nobody touching my celly. And I'm like, yo, Mook, watch out, man. If they're going to do something, we're going to do it. He's like, nah, we doing it together. So nothing happened, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. Nothing happened. Nothing went down, whatever. You know, and then, you know, maybe a week later, they pop my cell. You going home? What? I'm going home. I didn't know I was going home, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, bam, I hit the streets. We all home now. Me, Pudgy, Bar, Malik on his way home, Sleepy home, you know, Tiz and them, you know, they still, you know, they had cases, not cases, but, you know, they still had parole time in New York. So some dudes, you know, once they finished their time in Connecticut, they got shipped back to New York and all that, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So now we on the streets. This is when the shenanigans begin. You know, it was a nigga running around saying, yo, my name World. Yo, my name World. He from Red Hook. Telling people his name World. And niggas like, yo, stop telling people your name World, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You ain't World, nigga. Stop telling people your name World, whatever, what? Right? And at this time now, you know, Pudgy, you know what I'm saying? Me and Pudgy, you know, we doing our thing. Pudgy just be like, yo, L Train, you know what I'm saying? Yo, here, just bring me this back. Yo, here, bring me that back. You know, I'm grabbing a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I grab like 7 Grizzlies. You know what I'm saying? From him, whatever, go do my thing and give him what it costs. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, Mikey was out there at this time. You know what I'm saying? And then you had a lot of New York niggas out there. You had Flatbush niggas out there. You had niggas from Nostrand and Gates out there. You had niggas from Queens out there. I'm the only, at this time I was the only nigga from Coney Island until I ran into my man Marcus, God bless him. I seen him, he's like, yo, what the hell you doing out here? I'm like, yo, I just came home with him. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, so we exchanged numbers and all that, you know what I'm saying? And me and him spoke later on that night. He's like, yo, son, yo, who is this L Train nigga? I didn't tell him it was me yet. He's like, who the fuck is this L Train nigga, man? I'm like, what happened with him? He's like, nah, man, yo, you know how I give it up, man. I gotta see this nigga, man. Motherfuckers talking about, yo, L Train this, L Train that. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna bring him to you. He's like, all right, cool. So I jump in the cab, you know what I'm saying? Pull up on him and all that stuff. Jump out the cab. He's like, yo, where the L Train nigga at? I said, yo, son, it's me. And he looking at me like, nah, no way possible. Cause he don't know me for that. We from Coney Island. They don't know, like Coney Island don't know me for that at all. You know what I'm saying? And Coney Island, I probably had about 2 fights in my whole life in Coney Island. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the people that I have fights with, we friends to this day. Like you know how friends growing up gotta have a fight and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And we friends to this day. So you know, like they don't know me. They don't know me for none of this shit at all. They don't know me for the gun busting. They don't know me for the hustle. They don't know me for none of that. And you're like, yo, son, what got into you? And I'm like, yo, after that nigga shot at me, man, I knew I was out here by myself. Even though I got family in the town, but you know, like my family, they, you know what I'm saying, they grew up out there, so you know they not from the hood. You know what I'm saying? I still, like when I first went to Connecticut, you still could smell project piss on me. You know what I'm saying? If you look at my sneakers, you still could probably see sand that I was on the beach one night. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't know me for that at all. Now, you know what I'm saying? We on the streets, we doing what we doing. You know, and I'm moving now. I'm moving, you know what I'm saying? And like, I got brothers out there and everything else in Connecticut, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But they're not, you know what I'm saying? We're not on the same level. Because my father, I had no supervision at all. My father was getting high. When I was locked up, my father came to visit me, and the only thing he was worried about is where my Timberlands was at. He didn't put no money on my books and none of that shit. He came to see me like, yo, where you put them Timberlands at? Where you put your boots at?
What you mean? What he was asking that for?
Because he wanted the boots. You know what I'm saying? He wanted them, you know, and it's like, yo, listen, I already sold them boots before I even got locked up, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I sold them to somebody who wanted them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, I'm getting a little bit of change. These Timbs ain't nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, Timbs is my thing. I'm from Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Like, Supreme from Fort Greene brought me my first pair of Timbs. The 40 Belows. He brought me my first pair of Timbs. They had a spot in my aunt's crib. He brought me my first pair of Timbs. And
which Supreme? You talking about Supreme Magnetic?
Yeah. Yeah, he brought me my first pair of Timbs. You know what I'm saying? Curly Head Just from Fort Greene was, when I went down there, Curly Head Just was the one like, oh yeah, come on. Took me upstairs and all that, gave me the Timbs and all that stuff. I went back down to Tompkins, you know what I'm saying? And that, you know what I'm saying? In that summer, everybody from 65 Tompkins, we all wore 40 Belows. I remember Froggy coming from Marcy. He's like, what the fuck, y'all niggas think y'all had a snow party? In summertime, all y'all niggas got on boots. We all had on 40 Belows and shit. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was our, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't our thing. It's just like, you know what? We all got 40 Belows. Let's wear them. You know what I'm saying? So we just started wearing our 40 Belows every goddamn day. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? But, you know.
Why he ended up buying you some Timbs, though?
No, because he had a spot in my aunt's crib, like Supreme Magnetic, on some real shit. He took he took care of us. You know what I'm saying? Even my aunt, because my aunt was getting high at the time, whatever. You know what I'm saying? He like Supreme, a real good guy, man. Like, he really took care of us. You know what I'm saying? He took care of my cousins. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like, even in Coney Island, you know what I'm saying? Like, the dudes that was getting money made sure we went to school. And we missed our bus, they took us to school. You know what I'm saying? Gave us a couple $. You know, like, if Supreme caught us cutting school, you know what I'm saying? Boom, get your ass to school. Get the fuck off these streets. You know what I'm saying? A couple shots to the chest, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You be mad, but you ain't gonna, you can't riff back. You know what I'm saying? You can't riff back or nothing like that. You know, you take the little punches, whatever, and just make sure next time you cutting, we're not going over there, because them niggas is over there. And then one of his workers are gonna tell on us or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? But he took care. You know what I'm saying? He took care of what he had to take care of. And you know that I wanted some Timberlands. You know, my aunt told him that's why he brought. You know what I'm saying? That's why he brought the Timbs for me and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
That's what up, man. Shout out to Preem. Rest in peace, Ant Live.
Yeah, and also Black Star too. Rest in peace, Black Star. You know what I'm saying? Black Star, you know, my man Sai, rest in peace. Sai was the one who was writing for World when World wanted to start rapping. That's Black Star brother. You know what I'm saying? And you know it's crazy. And you know what I'm saying? So now we in Connecticut, right? Again, right? And you know, remember that group Crew CRU?
Yeah.
From the Bronx?
Yeah.
Okay. One night they had a show. You know what I'm saying? I'm in Connecticut doing my thing. Like, I'm laying my goon hand down. And it's crazy because